What's up, guys? TheDevildogGamer here. We're back with some Rainbow Six Siege with the new DLC, Operation Red Crow. And big shout out to Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out the DLC or the game Rainbow Six, check out the link in the description below. It's amazing. I love it. It's my guilty pleasure. Anyways, this DLC not only adds in a new map, but new operators, which are the Japanese Special Assault Teams, which are counterterrorism forces with units within the Japanese police. We get two new operators, an attacker and defender. So we're going to start out with this video just talking about the new operators and how they work. So let's go ahead and take a look at them and kind of talk about their pros and cons and everything and their loadouts. First of all, we're going to start with the attacker, Habana. She has 40mm grenade launcher, which is kind of cool. She's, you know, I do like her, but I feel like her role is very limited, per se. First off, she has a Type 89 assault rifle. The Type 89 is loosely based off of the G3 and the Armalite AR-13. It's made by Howa. Howa actually holds manufacturing licensing for the Armalite series and I think a few other series within NATO and stuff like that. So they kind of adapted what they got from the AR-18 and moved it on over. Funny thing about it, the Type 89 is a 5.56. They used to have, I think it was the Type 64, which was the 7.62 variant, but during Vietnam when we switched over to the 5.56 in accordance with all their bylaws and stuff and craziness, they had to switch to a 5.56, which is why the Type 89 became a thing. You know, the Type 89 is actually pretty cool assault rifle. The magazine capacity is only a 20 rounder. Rate of fire is 850. Damage, you can get it boosted up to 41, which is pretty cool. I mean, you should be running this thing with the ACOG. In all honesty, run it with the ACOG. The muzzle brake here, this little AAC adapter one, definitely run that. As you can see, the recoil patterns change throughout. It gets super tight with this AAC muzzle brake. Definitely run that. You will like it. Vertical grip, stay away from the laser. And then we get, you know, some cool new skins and stuff, but we'll definitely talk about them another time. On top of that, she also gets the Supernova. This also goes for the Defender. The Supernova, I like. The damage in it is good. You can get some really long-range one-hit kills, 7 capacity. But the problem is the follow-up shot is a little slow. It is pretty slow. It's hard to get a follow-up shot with it. I would say use at your own risk. I mean, you can get some shots, but that if you don't hit your first shot, you're SOL as hell. And then we start getting the P229. Finally, we get a SIG P229. Thing's beastly, 50 damage. Recoil pattern goes a little to the right. Capacity's good, 12 rounds. You can throw suppressors, all kinds of other stuff on here. You can also get the nice little, you can actually get the AAC muzzle brake, which I'm actually gonna throw on there. That recoil pattern gets tight as hell on there. Definitely run the 229. I like it, but the Bearing 9, which is like a little tiny micro Uzi, is where it's at. 1,100 rounds per minute, capacity 25, damage 32. This thing is awesome. Run it with a flash hider. Don't skimp out on the suppressor. I don't know, if you want to run it suppressed, go for it. And of course, she's got claymores and stun grenades. All right, so let's talk about her little special weapon here, because this thing is a little bit crazy. Of course, we'll go over everything else later. Oh, there we go. So her little X-Kairos thing, it's a 40mm grenade launcher that throws multiple pellets around in a nice little square. You can fire 2 of them consecutively and hit them to activate kind of blow through. Kind of same thing as Ash, but more of you control when it detonates. We'll get more into it later, but this is Habana. This is the attacker. She's pretty cool. I'm liking the Type 89 assault rifle. Bread and butter, though, is Echo. Echo has a hovering drone, which is amazing. But first off, we're going to show off the favorite parts about it, his nice little loadout. My favorite weapon is the MP5 SD. Yes, we finally get an MP5 SD. 23 damage, 800 rounds per minute, 30 round capacity. Roll it with an ACOG. You need to get headshots. This thing, I mean, people soak up damage pretty hardcore in this. You need to get the headshots. You really do. It's a 9mm, not too great, but damn, is it nice. It's so nice. And again, we get the Supernova. Like I said before, the follow-up shots are pretty hard. Be careful with it. And then we got 229 and the Bearing 9 again. Thing's pretty cool. Now, his drone is a game changer, an absolute game changer. Probably one of the coolest abilities I've seen so far in this game, and I feel like everyone's gonna run them just because it's ridiculous. But we're gonna get more into that. We'll start off. We'll talk about Echo and his crazy drone. Echo is going to be one of those operators that everyone flocks to. I know I find every DLC, I find one that I'm like, oh, it's going to be a game changer. It's going to be amazing. But literally, Echo is so cool that, like, it's going to keep me coming back and playing. I'm not joking. His little Roomba of death is amazing. So basically, what his unique ability is he gets a drone. Now, this is a flying drone. Its movement mode is you're on the ground. You fly around on the ground, move around wherever you want. You can switch back to your player. You can move around. The drone stays there. Switch back to it, and pick it back up whenever you want. Now, to use this attack, this thing has a sonic wave attack. You actually hit space, it flies up to the ceiling, and after a few seconds, will actually cloak, so it becomes invisible. No sound, no nothing. Becomes completely invisible, and you have 3 shots with this sonic blaster. But wait, the 3 shots recharge. It has infinite shots. The only thing, though, is that the shots replenish when you're on the ceiling. You can't replenish them when you're on the ground. Now, when you hit somebody with this sonic wave, it distorts their view, and the more they move, the longer it lasts. They have to hold completely still to kind of get out of it. So the longer the guy's moving around or trying to take cover, the worse his vision's going to get. You can keep popping them for 3 times and reloading this thing. Now, there's a few things I've seen hit here or there. We've seen a fuse somehow randomly take multiple hits and be completely fine. And the person who was playing the fuse said he wasn't affected whatsoever. It might have been missed shots. Fuse might not be affected, but we've had people with fuse actually take hits and get disoriented. Also, shields have reported that they haven't been hit, so maybe it's but yet we've hit shields and shields have been completely affected by it. It's going to take a little bit of playing around to see what's going on. It might be one of those things where it's kind of like Blackbeard, where you could still get shot in certain ways to look in certain directions with his shield. So you just got to kind of play around with it. But I don't think anybody's fully immune to this thing. This sets up so many different plays. I mean, you can completely area denial a front entrance by hiding up above it and just completely locking people out. And the crazy part about this is Thatcher's EMP grenades, while they do affect it, it doesn't completely knock it out. The thing is, it will kind of use it like a mute charge. Mute throws down his charge, the screen goes all blocky with your drones. But when an EMP grenade hits this drone, after 30 seconds or so, it comes back up and is completely usable again. So the EMP grenades are really not too effective against this. While it can knock it out and give you an opening to come through a door, it's not a foolproof way of getting rid of them. We've used these to lock down front doors to where people can't get in, locking down to people reviving. You can't revive a person because you're just getting nailed so hard. I had Honorby actually report he killed somebody who was downed with the sound blast. Didn't catch that, but we'll take that with a grain of salt. We got to play it a lot more because it's really awesome. The biggest, and I say the biggest weakness right now is IQ with this thing. Not only can IQ actually see the drone, IQ can see you carrying the drone and using it. We've had multiple times. I've actually had one instance where I got shot through a window while carrying the drone on me from IQ. I feel like IQ is going to become a big counter and definitely going to be usable. Not a lot of people use IQ anymore, which is kind of weird because a lot of the stuff you put down, you think you'd get an IQ around to save your team. But hey, what do I know? Right now, Echo is the go-to guy. I'm really down for Echo. I mean, this thing is so cool. You can set up so many different plays with it. Just, completely leave a room, and when they go in to contest the bomb or the objective, start spamming them with the thing, and everybody just rush in and kill them all. I mean, there's just so many different things you can do. It's really a super freaking unique and amazing thing. Now, let's talk about Habana and her little 6-shotter explosive 40 millimeter. I'm not a fan of it. I found myself playing Habana less and less after I started using hers. While her Type 89 is awesome, I feel her unique attack is... it's a mix between Ash and Thermite. So you gotta think of it this way. Say you want... Okay, if you want to fill the gap between Ash and Thermite, Habana is where you want to be. The only problem is it takes 2 shots to make a full-size area that you can go through, unless you want to crawl through it. You aim in, it gives you a nice little square designated where it goes. The EMP charges, the little jammers, they all affect this thing completely. EMP charges also, but it can pop through the steel, it can pop through walls. They do take quite a bit of time to spool up and explode. When you pop them in and you activate them, it'll take a little bit of time before they finally spool up and explode. I have fired them at walls behind people, like like you would do with Ash's projectile, 40 millimeter. And somehow they wouldn't go off. It seems like they need to hit a really flat surface. If you hit them on an angle, they're not really going to work too well. I'm just not a fan of Habanya. I mean, she's nice. The Type 89 is definitely awesome. I think that's cool. The Supernova, super hit or miss, but when you drop people in one hit, it's amazing. I mean, I feel like her place is definitely there because she fills the gap between Ash and Thermite. But at the same time, I feel like having Ash and Thermite is usually a better route to go, if you know what I mean. Or a Fuse. It just seems like taking just Habanya and abandoning Fuse and Thermite, or not Fuse and Thermite, Ash and Thermite would be kind of a counterproductive to the team. But I can see where she might fit in. It'll take some playing in to see where she works into the teams. Maybe you play randoms and nobody takes a Thermite and there's not an Ash. Roll her just to kind of bridge the gap. But I like her weapon. I would like to test it a bit more and see how it actually works. But Echo is the man. I really want to play some more with him and try to make some more stuff. Just try out what else you can do with him. I mean, he has so many awesome options with him that I feel like his drone is just going to pull off so many awesome, cool plays. I thought the little bear trap, floor mats were awesome, but damn, his drone is something else next level. I mean, I have to mess with it more. I've been checking the Reddit here and there, and people have been saying that, certain classes aren't affected, but yet I've seen it happen, and people have reported happening in games, so we'll have to see where he goes. But I feel like, even if there are immune classes to it, that wouldn't be a problem, because of the cloaking ability, you can pick and choose who you want to hit, maybe let a few people through, and then go from there. But definitely Echo is the man in Red Crow. Definitely check him out. Anyways, boys, definitely check out the trailer and the annotation popping up right now. And again, if you want to check out Rainbow Six Siege, link in the description. We're going to do another video here shortly on the new map, which is awesome, and some of the new skins and just elite skins. This is really a cool update. Anyways, boys, you want to see some more Rainbow Six? Let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys later. Peace.